So thank you so much for getting on, guys. I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys some kind of value for this call. So I was listening to a Periscope with Angie Belmar, who's one of my good friends with coaching, and she went over the top 7 tips to help you get valuable followers on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, like Twitter, anywhere you can think of for social media, because we are a social media based business. Obviously, you can always do things face to face. One of the cool things about fitness is that when you start seeing results, whether you have weight to lose or you don't have weight to lose, but you're just starting to tone up more or whatever your goals are, people always ask, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's very easy to talk about Beachbody. That's the cool thing. But you can also build it even faster on social media. So that's why you guys see me using social media most of the time. I'm pretty much an introvert, surprisingly, unless I really know you, and then I'm pretty outgoing. But I like social media. So I wanted to go over just some 7 tips that are going to help you get quality followers. Now, I know we have some people who are not quite coaches yet, but this is good information for you to see as well. Whether you decide to sign up as a coach or you decide to do something else in the future. So the first tip is finding 5 topics that make up your niche market. Now, you're probably like, what the heck does that mean? It's the kind of person that you want to help. Okay, we all have a certain person that speaks to us. For instance, me, last year at this time when I was going through all my health issues, I really wanted to help people with thyroid issues. I really wanted to help them, and the fact that adrenal fatigue and leaky gut and candida and a lot of those things tie into someone who has thyroid issues. Those were the things that I focused on. So when I have thyroid issues, that was my main focus. I would be focusing on, ways to make your thyroid run better with nutrition, ways to cut down on stress, because stress is a way to, really destroy that thyroid, unfortunately. Different exercises that could help with it, and come up with 4 or 5 different topics that make up that. Now it's pregnant women. I like helping pregnant women. So think about you, for instance, I see Angela and Nancy on here, both moms, so what are the things about that specific person that you want to help with? Is it quick and easy meals? For instance, Janelle Summers, my upline, she always likes doing quick and easy meals that are 5 or less ingredients. I know from personal experience from being her friend, she's not a big cook. She doesn't like to cook. So she keeps things short and sweet whenever she puts a recipe up. Okay, so people know that, okay, if we see a healthy meal from Janelle, it's going to be 5 ingredients or less. Okay, and then she talks about her fitness, and then she talks about, her coaching aspect, and so different things that make up that niche that you're trying to reach out to. So I want you to think about that. You don't have to do it right now, but just think about that kind of person that you want to help in 5 areas. As a brand new coach, I usually say, what are your hobbies outside of just fitness and nutrition? Those are 2 right there for you. But then also maybe your family. Maybe you're someone who's big into sand volleyball. That can be something that you talk about. Maybe you're a bachelorette fan like me, and you can't help but watch the crummy reality TV. That's a good hobby. It's not a good hobby, but that's a hobby right there that you could talk about, because people always want to talk about it. And just a heads up for that, if you do post about a show, some people don't post what happens because people will be like, spoiler alert, I've had a couple of people get mad at me about that. So just a heads up. Okay, so find 5 topics that make up the person that you want to help. Number 2 is finding something that you can master. Okay, you don't have to be good at every single social media avenue. I suck on Twitter. I have Twitter, I think, tied to my Facebook like page that I didn't even know how I did that a long time ago. I'm never on Twitter. But for me, I really enjoy Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Even 3 is a lot, guys. So as a brand new coach, or some of you guys have been coaches for a couple months, really focus on maybe 1 to 2. Okay, so start with Facebook. Facebook is the easiest to learn. And then move on to Instagram, and then on to Pinterest, and so forth after you master them. But you want to find one thing that you're really good at. If you're really good on video, you might love YouTube. Say you're someone who, even if you're a brand new coach, you might just feel natural in front of the camera. There we go. I remember when I first signed up, I literally had to, like when we started doing videos and stuff, I literally had to just practice and practice and practice until I felt comfortable enough to not be totally scripted, where I had everything written out in front of me. Okay, so if you want to do video and you're like, I'm just not very good at it, that's okay. None of us start out good. You can get better at it. And Periscope is another one of them. Periscope. That's a new social media avenue that is becoming huge. I think it's only been out for like maybe a couple months. And I know that when Shalene starts doing something, you want to hop on at the same time, because she knows where the big things are going to be. I remember when she got on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, I don't really like Instagram. I'm not going to do it. And then Instagram blew up. And it's like, oh, shoot, I should have started when she started. Okay, so you want to find one area that you're really good at. Okay. Number 3 is kind of going off of number 1, but you have to create your ideal customer. You have to think about that person specifically. Okay, for instance, I have someone, and I won't show you guys, but I have someone on Pinterest that I found, just like a generic picture or whatever, that really fits exactly the person that I'm looking for. Someone who's not in amazing shape, has a little bit of a cushion to her, but she's fit and she's healthy, but she's not afraid to eat dessert. And she likes to shop at, Lululemon and, BCBG, and where else do I like to shop? Express, and, knowing exactly where she likes to shop for clothes, the kind of shoes that she likes for like running, thinking about the kind of food that she eats. Maybe like for me, I want to help people who are gluten-free, so I want someone who has to eat a gluten-free diet. And, thinking about, the things that they like to do. Maybe they're a big Disney nerd. If you're someone who really likes Disney, Mindy Wonder, Angie Bellamar, they both talk about that kind of stuff. So think about that. You want to get really, really detailed into what that person looks like, what kind of income they have. Are they a stay-at-home mom, or are they full-time? How many kids do they have? How old are their kids? Are they, single or married? Like what is that person that you're looking for? And the reason that I want you to do this is because it's going to make hashtagging so much easier. Okay, the more specific that you can be on Instagram. So Facebook, you don't really have to use hashtags, but on Instagram, the more specific that you can be. So for instance, Express, Nordstrom, BCBG, Lululemon, Nike, whatever you want to hashtag for that, Fit Mama, stuff like that. The more specific that you can be, you're going to be finding more of those people, or those people are going to be finding you of that ideal customer, okay, or ideal friend. Okay, number 4, you want to make sure that you are very consistent with posting. Okay, so for instance, say that you get on Facebook, and there's someone who, you see in your newsfeed that you're like, oh, she looks interesting. You go on her page and you see that the last time she posted was August 1st. I would be like, unfollowing, not really going to be giving me quality information on a daily basis, right? But if it's someone who I see that her last post was maybe yesterday or earlier today, I would be more likely to follow that person, because it's like, okay, she's actually going to be consistently posting, right? Another thing you want to make sure you don't do, and I used to do this, is that you post a ton. Like you post like 4 or 5 times within like a 5-hour time frame. So it's like 1 hour after the hour, and then you just disappear. And people were like, that's weird. You know, it doesn't show people that you're being consistent. And as a coach, obviously, we're not perfect. I just had an ice cream sundae at dinner. But I do want to show people that I'm real, but that I'm also posting on a consistent basis. So they're like, okay, she has the kind of qualities that I need, because let's face it, when it comes to fitness and eating healthy, it is very hard to be consistent with it. Very, very hard. So people who see someone who is consistently posting about workouts or consistently posting about eating healthy, they're going to be like, that's what I need in my life. Okay, so you have to be consistently posting on your page. Okay, number 5. Oh, and with that, I'm gonna make sure I say you gotta add value. You have to add value. Posting about stuff that you think that person in number 3 would want to see. Okay, like a good thing to say before you put a post up is think, okay, would my ideal customer like this? And if she does, then it's like, go for it, you know? Or if she was like, oh, that's kind of weird, then don't put it up. You know, there's been times where I put things up and my husband's like, that's kind of odd. Am I going to take that down? And I just take it down. But, you know, and I want you guys to be yourself, but also to think about it, because you are your brand. Okay, you are your brand. Number 5, you have to deliver the goods. And by what I mean by that is, as a coach, you have to be open to sharing with people that there is the opportunity to become a coach. There is the opportunity to join a group with you, whether it be a free eating group, a clean eating group, whether it be a challenge group. Whatever kind of group you want to run, you have to be open about sharing it. And as a brand new coach, guys, I remember posting and I would get 0 likes, 0 comments, or 1 like, and the 1 like was mine or my husband's or whatever. And you have to just, back to that consistency, you have to continue to post it and know that those people will come when they continue to follow you. Because, you know, there's always those Facebook, we call them Facebook lurkers or stalkers, that are watching you all the time. And then all of a sudden, you know, within a month or 2, when it's the right time for them, that they want to start on their health journey, they're going to come back to you. Okay. Number 6, you have to learn from your mistakes. Okay. And know that we all started that way. I remember, and I've said this before, but the Time Hop app is really useful for me when I'm thinking about what you guys are going through, because when I first signed up as a coach, my posts sucked. Like, they were so bad, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I would put like a smiley face up. What was the one that I saw this morning that was so bad? I can't even remember. I'll have to, if I remember, I'll put it on Facebook. But it was so bad that I was like, why would I even put that up there? Like, why is that up on Facebook? But I didn't know what I was doing. So if you guys put things up and you're like, oh, no one commented or no one liked, that's okay. There's a delete button, you know, and say, okay, maybe it's different timing. You know, if you're like, I know that this is quality information, I know that I'm giving something of value, but it gets no likes or comments, maybe it's just not the right time for your page. Okay. One of the things that maybe you guys don't know, and I should show you this because it's pretty cool. Let me share my screen. Is that on your like page, so say that you have a Facebook like page, you can actually go into your insights, okay? And you can go through and it shows you the posts that did well, okay? And like how many people it reached or whatever. And then you also can see, let me see if I can figure out the right one. I know there's a thing that you can find like the times. This thing is so cool because you can see so much. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, so it shows with my followers that, you know, because I think, you guys, I've been running my like page for 5 years, and it's at 38,000, you know. So if you're maybe at 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, that's good. You know, you guys are just starting out. We all start somewhere, and be proud of that, okay? But, you know, at midnight, half my followers, which is surprising because I go to bed at 10, but, you know, half my followers are on at 15 at midnight. At 3 a.m., only 5,000 people. Who's up at 3 a.m.? That has to be like maybe the West Coast, maybe. But then 6 a.m., only 8,000 people. And then around 9 a.m., it starts picking back up. And then the best time for me is around 9 o'clock at night. So if you go on my page, you'll notice I only post, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Where can I go back to my page? Let's see. There we go. So if you look at mine, and guys, there's still a lot of things I'm still learning. But, I posted at, 10 hours ago. So that was at 10 o'clock, because I know that a lot of my followers are up at that time. So I know that if I post within, 8 to 11 a.m., it's going to be about the same amount of people. And then I know again at nighttime. And a good way to start doing things is to say, and this goes back to the one on consistency, is to say, okay, I'm going to shoot to post in the morning sometime. Obviously not before 8 a.m. That's usually like dead time, they call it. But around, 8 until 10 a.m. and then maybe around lunchtime and then at nighttime. Just shoot to do that. And one of those posts being about your fitness or whatever you did, whatever workout you did that day. And the other things, going back to those 5 things that we talked about at number 1. Okay, and I also want to make sure that you guys know that you want to look at what other coaches are doing. Obviously, I am not an expert at this. Janelle Summers does a really good job. Anita Myron does a really good job on Facebook. Who else could I think that does a really good job? Brittany Leggett does a really good job on Facebook. Like, there's a whole ton of people that I can write a list of the people just to look at what they're doing and what's working. And, obviously don't take people's posts, but look at the ideas and say, you know what, how can I spin this and make it fit my lifestyle? How can I make it fit who I am? And try it out, It's not bad to get ideas from other people. But just know that, that's kind of like the research side of it. You want to be looking into these different social media networks. For instance, Facebook changes so fast and all the time. Like when I first signed up, there was no Facebook ads, and what else? Like the Facebook like page didn't have anything on it. And now it's like completely different. And every single week it's like something different is on your Facebook. Do you guys feel like that? Like every single time you get on, it's like something looks different on here. Not sure what it is, So Facebook is constantly changing. So make sure that you're researching that. If you notice like, maybe my posts aren't getting the same amount of views that they were before, try a different type of post. Sometimes we notice that a status update, which is just a Facebook post without a picture. I put a lot of those on just my profile page. That sometimes those do really well, and other times not so much. And it's because Facebook is playing with algorithms. You have to think about this, guys, because you're a business owner. And you can just Google like most up-to-date changes on Facebook, August 2015. And you'll see, Facebook's very open about the fact that they're like, oh, we're noticing, or we're making videos better on your page, or we're making picture posts better, or whatever. Usually videos, if you upload them from your phone, so not from YouTube, not from another site, but actually from your phone, like physically from your phone, so it's like a live video, those do better because Facebook sees that you're YouTube, and they get really excited about that. Just a heads up. But do your research, because you'll be surprised at what you're able to find about the social media networks. And then number 7, you want to find your life. You guys are going to like this one. You got to find your life. The thing about social media, and it took me a long time to realize this, is that it can suck you in. It can suck you in, and it's like you're like 5 hours later, like on Pinterest, you're like, holy crap, where did the time go? Or like for me, I love my job. I love what I do. And, my husband will be like, Megan, like you said you were going to come down like an hour and a half ago. And it's like, whoop, I didn't even realize that I'm still, doing something on Facebook or writing a blog or, something like that. So what I want you guys to know about finding your life is I want you to have specific hours about when you're going to be working your business, and when you're not working your business, turn your phone off or turn the notifications off. For instance, I was just at dinner with my husband's family. We just found out his grandma has breast cancer, which is sad. But so we were out to dinner, and not to be so, I'm sorry, that was really not something to bring up. I'm sorry. But we went out to dinner, and I had my phone turned off completely. And then when I came home and came into my office, that's when I picked up my phone and started responding back to either text messages or Facebook messages or something like that, because I was back at work. And you can teach yourself that. I know it's very addicting to have this right here in front of you, and you see the notifications go off, and it's like, oh, I don't want that person to think that I'm ignoring them, or I don't want to miss this opportunity for them to join my challenge group or coaching team or whatever. People understand that you have a life outside of your business, okay? And as a brand new coach, that can be hard to learn, but I want you to learn it now so that you're able to say, I'm working from this time to this time, and I'm with my family. Because I never want you to look back and say, you know, oh man, I missed these years of my child's life because I was on my phone. I'm sure you guys know that, but still. So do you guys have any questions on any of that? Anything that I just went over? And don't be shy. Anyone? You're all like, no. Aw. Guys, don't be shy. Maybe I just did a really good job, so there's no questions at all. Okay, so if no questions on that, I know that I thought I saw Nancy on here, but do you guys have any questions of anything that you're going through, like with your business or anything?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think I had it on mute. For me. I have a ton of questions, but I think I'm going to talk to you Saturday morning. Yes? Okay. Yeah.
Is this Lori? Yeah,
yes.
it's Lori. Okay, I can hear you. I can see what you're talking. Yes, I have you down for Saturday. Yes. Is there any questions that you want to share here? Because I bet it would help someone who's on here.
You know, I have just questions like on the challenge groups, I guess, just getting that started. So I'm just kind of looking at that today. So that's kind of it right now.
With challenge groups, what I usually tell, and we'll talk a little more about this on Saturday, and if you guys are on the coaching sneak peek thing, I'll talk about it on Friday on our Getting Started Right call, because that's kind of what I'm doing with Lori. But basically with challenge groups, as a brand new coach, and Angela and Nancy know this, is that when you first sign up, I want you to put something free and of value out there. So whether it be a 5-day water challenge that you've probably seen people posting about, or a 5-day clean eating, which I have a template, don't worry, you guys can use mine, or 5 days to shut the TV off, or like whatever you want to do, something fun that you think that your friends would want to do with you. And what that does is it gives you the chance to be a coach, to kind of get your feet wet and not be totally overwhelmed. 2, it gives you a chance to see who out of your friends is interested. And there might be people who you overlooked and you're like, oh, I didn't even think. Like for me, it's like, I never thought that my sister's best friend would be interested in doing this. And I forgot to even invite her, and then she commented on something and I'm like, oh, duh, why didn't I think of her? And then 3, it gives you a chance to build that relationship with that person. They see you as that coach in that type of group setting. So when you start the group, I would recommend posting about it. I would say like 4 days before you actually want to start the group, and then say that you want to start it on the 17th. Oh my God, it's already August 17th next week. But if you want to start it on August 17th, you want to start advertising it. Oh, I just saw Nicole hop on from Hawaii, right? She's in Hawaii. Listen, Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Once I have this baby, I'm going to come visit her. But, if you want to start it on Monday, you start 4 days before, and then you actually make it so that you put them in a group, just like our team group. You can create your own group, come up with your own name and everything, and keep it super simple. You know, use Pinterest as your guys' resource. Like with the water one, I tell people, keep it super simple and have your personality in it. So have them do selfies on themselves with their water, or have them, oh, here comes Kaylee, like a bat out of hell. Yeah, could you even tell that she's like, what the heck? And then she's going to wake up at 3 a.m. and throw up again. Like, oh my God, it's like having a child. I don't know what's going on, guys. But back to what I was saying is that, every day post something of quality of what water does for you. That it clears up your complexion, that it gives you more energy, that it makes you fuller, that helps you sleep, whatever it is, it helps your digestion. Whatever, little things of what water do. And then at the end of the 5 days, then you can approach that person about doing a challenge group. You guys saw that September 7th, I'm opening my challenge group up for everyone and their challengers. So you could say, hey, my coach is giving me a chance to invite 3 people into a group where we're going to take everything that we learned in this water group and combine it with fitness and nutrition. Is that something that you'd want to do? And then we have the ways to help you talk to people and everything like that. You're never going to be by yourself, but it gives you a chance to really start talking to people about it. Does that help?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything? You guys were so quiet. You're all like staring at me. All right, I'm trying to think of the questions that I've seen other people post about. Okay, so for instance, back to Facebook, sometimes Facebook can be a pain. And, say that you put up a challenge group post and no one comments. And it's very easy to get very frustrated, and Kate will know what I'm talking about because we talked about this last night, and think like, no one's interested, or I don't know what to do, or whatever. Think about people. I got this tip from Mercedes Kirk, who's in our team, and she said that she actually intentionally thinks about who would benefit from this. That list of 100 people that we had to create, or I had to create. I really want you to think about those people, and maybe there's someone who you just know, they're getting married in 6 months and they need help, or they just had a baby, or their daughter's getting married, or something's going on in their life, or you've seen them post about stuff on Facebook. And be intentional and say, hey, I've seen your posts, or I know this is coming up and I know that this would benefit you. And think about that. So sending personal messages, or calling people who are close friends. For instance, with my dad, he's a nut, but his health wasn't very good a couple months ago, and I went straight to him. I've been a coach for 6 years, and he's ignored me with the Shakeology. And I said, Dad, you need to get your act together. I was very intentional about it, and I was like, you need to start drinking Shakeology. You need to do this. Like my sisters, we all kind of went at him, and now he's doing amazing, and dropped 15 pounds, little punk. It was like that, guys. But I was intentional and I went at him. So think about maybe your parents, and I know Debbie Halleck, her parents are in their 70s, and she has them doing the 21-day fixed meal plan. They're not doing the workouts, but the meal plan and the Shakeology, and they're seeing benefits too. So think about your family and your friends, people who know you. They know that you're not just trying to sell them, because I think that's the biggest fear as a brand new coach is you never want someone to think that you're coming across salesy. And all I can tell you is that if you're leading from your heart and you have good intention, that's all that matters. If they think that you're trying to sell them, they obviously don't know you. Okay. So I hope that kind of takes off the bite for you guys a little bit. I know it's 8:30, so I want you guys to think about the 7 tips that I gave you, and this is recorded, so I will put it up in the group tomorrow when the recording's up and ready, so that if you missed the first part of this, you can listen to it, or watch it, or if you guys want to re-listen to it. Of course you do, right? Because the tips were so great. But I want you to think about that kind of person that you want to attract into your business, okay? Because You get to be picky. This is your business. You want to be working with, for me, I wanted really positive, uplifting, independent women. And yes, I don't attract a lot of men. It's mostly women because I want to be around positive people because I know that they push me more. And independent because I never want to feel like I'm breathing down someone's neck. I want someone to just say, hey, Meg, what do you think of this? Okay, I'm going and doing it, So think about that. You get to choose the kind of person that you're working with. So that's it. Any other questions, guys? Anything? You know what I think I'm going to do? I think before we get on these Zooms, since you guys are so shy, is I'm going to make you guys put questions below so I know exactly what you guys are struggling with, and then I'll be able to go over them on the Zooms to make you guys a little more comfortable. But that's it. Thank you so much for getting on, guys. I loved seeing your faces. I see a couple of people who are in the sneak peek, so that's pretty freaking awesome that you guys got on. And hopefully you're seeing a little bit of we're not all usually the shy, but get on the YouTube call tomorrow. Make sure you guys don't miss that because I don't have jury duty. Woo! I will be talking on the Zoom chat tomorrow on Pinterest for Janelle and sharing how I'm able to find people on Pinterest with all the stuff that I was just talking to you guys about, but it's like finding people on Pinterest who are in your niche and being able to connect with them and stuff like that. So make sure you don't miss that. The information is in you were a nut, Kaylee, in the Meg Wazinski, or Meg 2014-2015 group. And everything else, I just put a calendar up of everything that's going on in the team for the next couple weeks. So make sure you check that out. I'm glad I got to see you guys. Have a wonderful night. And if you guys have any more questions and you were too shy to ask, just Facebook message me. All right, guys? All righty? All right. I'll see you guys in the group.